Hello, kid, and welcome to this week's class on relationships between living things. Our topic for the week is relationships between living things. We already know what living things are, things that have life. Examples are plants and animals. Now, I want to know the relationship between plants and animals. According to the English dictionary, relationship is the connection between two or more things, right? That thing which connects two or more things is the relationship between the two or more things. So that means that the connection between two or more living things is what we are going to be looking at in this class. Now, how are living things connected? They are connected by the food that they eat. Yes, every living thing depends on one another. Every living thing depends on another living thing for survival. I beg your pardon. Except plants that make their own food. Alright? So what is the connection, for example, between a lion that eats a goat for food? If that goat does not eat grass, first of all, how is the grass produced? Green plants manufacture food through the process called photosynthesis. The goat, being a herbivore, eats the grass to stay alive, and then the lion now eats the goat. So if there is no grass, there can be no goat and there can be no lion. And now what is the relationship between a fox and a seagull? A fox feeds on a seagull, right? Now what does a seagull eat? It eats fishes. And how do fishes survive? By eating algae and plantains in the river. How does the algae and plankton survive? By the presence of sunlight, right? So now there's a question here: how does sunlight affect a rabbit? Sunlight ordinarily should be more concerned with plants because they use it for making food. But what about a rabbit? Well, yes, indirectly it affects the rabbit too, because if there is no plants, then the rabbit cannot feed, the rabbit being a herbivore, right? How about the decomposers? We haven't even talked about decomposers all this while. How useful are they? What will happen in their presence? Just imagine a world where there was no decomposer. Animals just die and they don't decay. The nutrients in their body don't return back to earth. There will be no balance, right? So decomposers are also very important. Now, the connection in the plant kingdom. Some plants depend on other plants for survival. Yes, not all plants make their own food. These plants are called parasitic plants. They feed off or from other plants and may lead to the death of the other plant, right? So they depend on the other plant for food, while some other plants just need the other plant for a symbiotic relationship. So in summary, we'll say that living things depend on one another for food, whether directly or indirectly. Okay? They depend on one another for food. If this particular organism is not available, it might affect the food of the next organism, and so there will be no balance in the ecosystem. So I hope you enjoyed the class. It is a very short one, but it's straight to the point and very simple. So until our next class, a goodbye from me to you. Stay safe.